Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the 2-Minute Warning. I'm Blake Showalter.
And I'm Beto Vacadillas.
And Aaron Rodgers is out of the darkness after a 4-day darkness retreat. What do you think about that, man?
Yeah, really intriguing. Notice that he hasn't said anything to anyone. Like, we haven't heard any reports coming out. So it's going to be interesting whenever he does make a move, what's going to happen. I think, like I've said, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. What's not to love? Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Darren Waller. Really intriguing spot for Rodgers. It almost seems like a perfect position for him to just swoop in and actually show him how to win playoff games. And hopefully, if he doesn't go there, maybe he'll end up at your Jets.
Yeah, and speaking of Aaron Rodgers, the Jets, and Derek Carr, in this 4-day darkness retreat, there's been reports that the Jets have been more and more in love with Derek Carr. You just talk about that for a minute. I got to collect my thoughts for a minute because the rage inside of me right now.
I understand. So Derek Carr, obviously, he's a quarterback who is average, maybe a little bit above, depending on who you talk to. Last season, he led the league in interceptions. He had 14 interceptions, but also his defense wasn't the best last year. So maybe this Jets defense can bring in some wins actually to Derek Carr's record. Last year, the Las Vegas Raiders let up 418 points and 6,216 yards across the whole season, while the Jets only let up 316 points, 5,288 yards. So the Jets have a really strong team, a really strong defensive team, and on a whole bunch of youth. And so obviously Derek Carr is a veteran quarterback. He could probably lead them into some success and maybe even take them to the playoffs. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see. But Blake, have you collected yourself enough?
Thank you, Beto, for giving me a second to collect my angry thoughts. Calling Derek Carr an above-average quarterback is beyond kind. He is the most mediocre quarterback possibly of all time in the NFL and the history of the league and the history of football. The dude had 3 good seasons. 2015, 33 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. 2016, 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. 2020, 27 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So hearing the Jets front office calling him great, a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, is painful to hear, knowing that our last couple quarterbacks have been Sam Darnold, Mark Sanchez, Josh McCown, and now we're settling on Derek Carr. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, who Zach Wilson, that was his idol. Why not bring your future quarterback's idol in the room, teach him a couple things, and also Aaron Rodgers is still a dog. Much better numbers than Derek Carr. COVID Rookie of the Year, back-to-back, won a Super Bowl. Derek Carr hasn't won a playoff game, so why are we talking about bringing Derek Carr in? It makes no sense. He's not very good. He had a good offense around him. I mean, yes, the Jets do have a good offense right now and a great defense, but bringing in a mediocre quarterback to win a huge game like the Super Bowl, you need excellence, and Derek Carr is not excellence. He's not going to get the job done, especially in a loaded AFC East with great defenses. Like, you're going to go up against Bill Belichick, great defensive mind. He's going to eat up Derek Carr. You got the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, their defense hasn't been great, but still, I think they're going to eat up Derek Carr. And then, of course, the Bills. Derek Carr is not going to play good against the Bills. Derek Carr, he played the Broncos twice a year, but I'm sorry. Derek Carr is a mediocre quarterback, and I know I just went on a long rant there, but Aaron Rodgers is the obvious choice. I do not want Derek Carr. Just go on to the next thing. I'm going to
Blake is embodying every Jets fan at the moment.
No, but I'm not, and that's the silly thing. Jets fans want him for some reason, and it's just hurting my brain.
Moving on to a quarterback of actual caliber, we have Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, obviously, up in the air with his franchise tag with the Ravens, came out and said, rumors are saying that he won't play under a franchise tag. What do you think about that?
Thank you for changing the subject. Lamar Jackson purportedly will not play under a franchise tag. He wants a fully guaranteed contract, much like Deshaun Watson, which is interesting. As you know, his mom is his manager at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The deadline is March 7th, and after March 7th, the Ravens say they are going to put him on a franchise tag, but really no point in doing that if he's not going to play on it, which, based on his Instagram stories and based off of inside sources, he's not going to play on that. So looking for a huge contract. He wants to be a Raven, reportedly. I mean, he said some pretty good things in the past, in these past couple months, so he wants to be a Raven, but he wants to be paid like the quarterback he is, and I can't really blame him for that.
No, not at all. Last year, Lamar Jackson was absolutely electric, not only in the passing game, but also in the running game. He just took over every single game that he played. And if he doesn't stay at the Ravens, there's plenty of quarterbacks in free agency, but none quite like Lamar Jackson. So it'll be intriguing to see if he goes somewhere else, maybe at the Atlanta Falcons, who has a great group around them, and also the New York Jets, who also have a great group around them, who also could use any quarterback at this point, apparently, other than Derek Carr.
Yeah, anybody but Derek Carr would be great, except for Ryan Tannehill. But, Lamar Jackson's electric, and unlike Derek Carr, he's won an MVP. So, I mean, if I'm the Ravens, you got to lock him down. You got to make him your future quarterback. I mean, you got to give him, in my opinion, like a Patrick Mahomes sort of contract where you give him all the money you want and you make him your guy for a really long time. That's the only way I see that going down. If they let him go, they're idiots. Then next up, the XFL is back after being shut down during COVID. They are back, and our St. Louis Battlehawks had a crazy comeback down 15-3 with a minute 30 left, man. Talk about that for me.
Yeah, just a wild game. St. Louis was absolutely electric. Down 15-3, like you mentioned. With these rules in the XFL, though, 100% in the realm of possibility to come back. So in the XFL, touchdown worth 6 points, but there is no extra points like a kick. So they couldn't just settle for one. In the XFL, you can go for a 1-point attempt on the 2-yard line, or a 2-point try from the 5-yard line, and a 3-point try from the 10-yard line. So these are any plays like pass plays, run plays. If you run them, you can take the points. And also, instead of onside kicks to try to recover the ball, you can do a 4th and 15 play from your own 25. So high risk, high reward, but definitely very entertaining. The XFL is super entertaining as compared to the NFL.
And, dude, I mean, we got an absolute dog on and off the field, and A.J. McCarron. I mean, throwing passes like that on the field. Also, married to Miss Alabama, bro. I mean, come on now. When you got that at quarterback, you're going to win every single game.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The XFL, bright new season, plenty of time, plenty of football to keep us over to the NFL. But I'm really excited. This atmosphere in St. Louis and all around the United States, absolutely electric for this XFL season.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to see a game. Then next up, we have the NBA, McClung. No name out of the G League winning the dunk contest, man. He has hops, bro. Oh, my God. Springs in his knees, man.
Crazy. One of the best dunk contests I've seen in a while. Just watching McClung come literally off of a week's notice into his first dunk contest and just blow the lights off the place. It was insane. His 720 dunk at the end, oh, my goodness gracious. That was wild.
I wish we could show clips, but we can't. But dude was electric, man. And also got the bag, too. His career earnings in the G League was like $105,000. Made $100,000 off of winning the dunk contest. I mean, that's a good day, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got respect from Shaq, too. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, he was giving me Vince Carter vibes out there. His little spins and like his over celebration. It was iconic, legendary, whatever you want to say. It was amazing. I hope he comes back for next year's dunk contest.
Yeah, it's like Kyle Korver with springs in his feet. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But next up, lastly, with the Champions League and Beto, all yours.
Yes, sir. So Liverpool Real Madrid played today. It was intense game, as we know, heated rivalry between the two of them. Obviously, in 2018, the Champions League final, and then in last year's Champions League final, I thought it'd be a lot more competitive. I actually thought Real Madrid kind of would run away with it after a little bit of dominance, but Liverpool came out striking. It was 2-0 within 15 minutes, and ended up being 5-2 in the end of the game. Like, I don't care who you are, you can't let up 5 goals. I know it's Real Madrid, but whenever you're 2-0 up, you have to protect that, especially in an aggregate situation in the Champions League, which aggregate means basically you play one game at the first team's home, you play the next game at the next team's home. So Real Madrid are going into the next leg with a 3-goal advantage. Other news in the Champions League, Napoli beat Frankfurt. I think it's 2-0 today. Just absolute dominance from Napoli. They've been playing well, not only in the Champions League, but also in their own Italian league. So really interesting to see the competitors going forward. Everything that's going on in the Champions League, really electric right now. So, Blake, back to you.
I got to agree with everything you just said. All of it. Well, that's all I have for this episode of the 2-Minute Warning. I'm Blake Showalter.
And I'm Beto Vacadillas.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to follow us at the 2-Minute Warning with an underscore on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to our channel below. And also follow us at the Southeast Arrow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you guys next time.